Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer 2 video. Yesterday we spoke about the possibility of a Skaven vs Dwarf DLC known as the Master and the Moulder, where we also highlighted, given the recent changes to the Mortal Empires map and the Eye of the Vortex, that there could possibly also be a FLC for the Vampire Counts. So today we're going to discuss exactly that, so without further ado, let's begin. The Vampire Counts are one of those factions that can be considered near enough complete. They're missing a few units, yes, but it's more than likely that we'll see them come into effect in Total War Warhammer 3. These are units such as the Coven Throne and so on. Given the fact that there's not many DLC left for Total War Warhammer 2, this was confirmed by Creative Assembly, it's more than likely the only way to introduce the Vampire Counts now would be via an FLC option. This was further reinforced with the announcement of the Shadow and the Blade and the patch surrounding it. This patch added new territories in the lands of the Badlands, which belong to the Strigos Empire, one of the more well-known bloodlines for the Vampire Counts. This has led a lot of people to believe that we might get a Strigoi Ghoul King as a legendary lord, and while that indeed is possible, we shouldn't close ourselves off to other bloodlines. You see, when the Shadow and the Blade was released and the accompanying patch came with it, some new greenskin territories were added in the lands of the Empire and Bretonnia, specifically one in Middenheim, well, to be more specific, the Drakwold Forest. That area itself is known for forest goblins, but instead we got Grom the Paunch, which maybe proves that they're trying to implement these certain areas just to throw us off. So with that, we will look at each of the bloodlines individually and see if we can come up with a possible character to be the FLC Lord. Straight off the bat, we can remove the Von Carstein bloodline from this list, considering the fact that most of the family has already been implemented, and as much as I would like to see Conrad von Carstein being implemented, he was actually one of my favourite vampire lords in the tabletop, it doesn't make much sense for him to be so far away from Sylvania. Maybe in the future he could be a possible FLC Lord or Lord Pack, but even then, it looks unlikely. Moving on to the Lemmian bloodline, there's one character that strikes out above all others, that of Neferata. Unfortunately, we're not going to see her in Game 2. That is for certain. She's too iconic of a character to be a generic FLC Lord, and if anything, she'll be introduced around the same time that Nagash would be, if Nagash ever gets implemented into the game. I can almost say with utmost certainty we'll see Neferata eventually. She is a big name in the Warhammer universe, so really it's only a matter of time. Next we have the Strigoi bloodline itself, which many believe would be the case. Here we have the leader of the Strigoi himself, Usheran or Usheran, it depends how people want to pronounce his name. He is the first of the Strigoi vampires, but unlike his other brethren, he didn't give in to the raw animalistic bloodlust that bloodline is known for. So we wouldn't expect him to act like a normal Strigoi. Instead, he would be very well spoken, act like a noble, and possibly even have some decently strong ties to magic. Despite his sister portraying him to be nothing more than a rabid dog, the leader of the Strigoi bloodline actively seeked for the benefit of fellow vampires, not just his own bloodline. I like this character personally, I really do, and seeing as the new patch is establishing his territories, there is a chance that this would be the FLC Lord. He's not so well known in the lore in terms of just pure bulk, where it would make sense for him to be a pure Lord Pack Lord, but for an FLC, yeah, this is perfect to be honest. Plus, given the fact that we already have Strigoi Lord choices, it would make a lot of sense here, as we could already field pure Strigoi Kingdom armies. The basic format for these armies is a Ghoul King, Ghouls, Crypt Horrors, Terrorgeists, and that's pretty much it. Next we'll look towards the Necrach vampires, which has a few different choices here. Obviously the big choice here would be Werceran, the father of vampires and the first of the Necrach, but there's also characters such as, for example, Zacharias the Ever-Living, who is quite well known in his own right, but he's normally based around the lands of the Empire. That being said, in the Eye of the Vortex he could be in the Southlands, and then in the Mortal Empires campaign he could be moved towards the Empire. This faction is more than possible too, considering the fact that they do have start positions within the Eye of the Vortex and the Mortal Empires. This race would be featured within the Southlands, breaking up the monotony of fighting Tomb Kings all the time. Which, let's be honest, would be a welcome addition. But now we'll look towards the last Vampire Count bloodline, which is that of the Blood Dragons. Many are hoping for the Red Duke to become playable, and to be honest I am too. Unfortunately though, it makes no sense for him to become playable at this given time. The Eye of the Vortex does not include any part of Bretonnia, and it makes no sense for the Red Duke to be outside of the dukedoms. I'm sure we'll see him eventually, but there are better characters that would fit in the Eye of the Vortex campaign, with the biggest one there being Aborash himself, the leader of the Blood Dragon bloodline. He is a well-known character, he's known to travel across the world, so he doesn't really have a specific area where he would call a base. So he could pretty much fit anywhere, to be honest, which would make for an interesting idea. They can have him in the Southlands when it comes to the Eye of the Vortex, but somewhere completely different when it comes to the Immortal Empires campaign. If anything, the top contenders in terms of bloodline would be either the Strigoi, the Necrarch, or the Blood Dragons. Personally, I would prefer the Strigoi. We already have the basis for a full theme army, so it would be kinda easy to do. And personally, I'm a big fan of the Strigoi aesthetic. I used to play them way back in the day of 6th edition, so I just kinda want to see it for nostalgia's sake. You never know, however, they could throw a fast one on us and just give us another Necromancer. However, we already have 2 Necromancers, so I don't think that would be the case. But what do you guys think? Do you think it will be a certain bloodline? Do you think it will be a certain character? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a bit of a discussion, shall we? But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below, we have various different links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team and talk to us anything about Total War Warhammer, Warhammer Tabletop, or anything really. Also in the description section below is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Using our special link down there and also the special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. Honestly, it's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A special thank you to our patrons Gibraltar LUSC and Ryan Bertsche for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly, you guys are super cool. We can't thank you guys enough. And a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, the channel's been growing a lot lately and it's all thanks to you guys. Without you, the Great Book would be nothing. We're trying to keep the level of content steady and still at a better quality than we are normally used to. So thanks for all your suggestions, thoughts, comments and ideas and so on. You guys are really helping us get somewhere. But with that, my friends, thank you for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.